so anytime you're maintaining around the house or the homestead, there's always a mishap or two. So I was mowing with the tractor here, got a little close to my post and knocked the post out of the foundation. So today's video is about post repair. So I got two options. I can remove this post and concrete another post in place. One of the reasons this got damaged is when you concrete posts in the ground, they're subject to rot, so that's why they don't recommend that. They recommend you put it on a concrete block. But I found that it's a whole lot easier to build a deck or structure if you concrete them in. Yes, this one only lasted 20 years, so yeah, you got to make your call on that. Anyway, but I think for this application, I'm just going to cut the post off and put a block under here, and you'll see in YouTube where everybody seems to have a hardware store close, but for those of us that have other resources, I think a flat rock will do just fine. So we'll leave this like it is and go find us a flat rock. So here we are at the rock pile. If you don't have a rock pile, lucky you. You probably live in Florida or somewhere in the Mississippi Delta, but we have a lot of rock piles here. I try to keep them so that if I need a rock, I know where to get one. And you always need to be careful, because another name for a rock pile is a house of snakes. So always try to be a little careful when I'm doing this. That looks like a nice little flat rock. I'm probably going to pick out a couple of them. That way I'll have some options. Oh, that's a little thick. Don't need a thick rock. I should have brought the pick. That's a pretty nice one. I think one of these ought to work, so we'll load these up and go fix the post. All right, so let's continue with the quick and easy deck post repair. So I'm going to cut out a little dirt. Once again, depending on the part of the country you live in, it's whether you use a pick or a shovel. This is definitely pick territory. So now we've got a little room for sawing the bottom off. You always want to use hearing protection, eye protection when you're chainsawing. I wasn't always that way, but a few concussions and stitches, and a few years later you get a little smarter. So let's trim this off a bit. All right. Now we got which rock we like the best. Another good thing to do is always wear steel-toed boots when you're doing something like that. So probably gotta turn that a little bit so maybe the tractor won't catch it next time. All right, don't look too bad. All right, I need to check for level, and I just realized I don't have the level, so we'll take a quick break and get back to that. All right, now that we have our handy dandy level, we can check for plumb. And we're a little off. Just about perfect. And we'll check this way. Looks pretty good. So now, since I probably stressed the fasteners a little bit, we'll put a couple extra screws in just for good measure. And maybe we'll get another one if the battery doesn't die. All right, there we go. Good for another 20 years. All right, so it looks like we're about done here. On to the next project. Looks like it'll be fine and last a long time. And it looks pretty natural. So if this little project gave you any ideas or helped you out in any way, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd sure appreciate it.